Should that work? All right, now it works. Welcome to Remax, guys. So this week we're gonna be talking about StarCraft as always because we love the game, and the passion is strong. We're gonna be talking about several topics such as WCS, Legacy, hell, it's about time, and a bunch of more stuff. Jesus, guys. All right. So anyway, let's start with the intros. Morrow, what have you been up to this week? I saw the potato cam you messed up when you got on the call and you showed us the potato at first. It was quite the sight.
Yeah, I had to abort quickly and unplug the the camera. I don't know why Skype does that.
I thought it was an alien.
I'm doing good, man. I've got them back to streaming now, so been streaming maybe a little bit less than a week. And I've been playing Legacy of the Void, which has been a blast.
Are you done? Are you switching officially?
No, like there's still DreamHack, right?
Okay.
But that's pretty much it for me, I think.
When is DreamHack?
I don't know.
All right.
It's the end
The
of
life,
next month.
the life of a pro gamer. All right.
I'm just doing whatever I want, basically.
All right. That's cool. Yeah, the people of your chat are going ham in chat. Rip the chat. What about you, Rifkin? Where are you, by the way, for those that might be wondering?
Yeah, this is the best green screen backdrop I've ever used in my life. I'm currently staying at a friend's apartment in Toronto. I had to come here early to help set up some stuff for the event, get some shopping done, and make sure we're good to go. The official startup, like building the stage and everything starts on 20th, but just doing prep work. So I'm already in Toronto, boys!
Are you excited?
I'm so fucking excited. Desroww, are you kidding me? It's my first live event. Why the fuck wouldn't I be excited?
All right. All right. What about you, Chris? What have you been up to besides being sick and being Mr. Grumpy Pants?
Casting WCS. Preparing for base trade since I haven't played since basically I lost a cane. And that's pretty much it.
All right.
I'm not gonna ask you. I don't care.
What? Come on, man. You can't do that.
Did you pick up any sweet new strats after casting Haas? Are you a changed man now?
No, not at all. Not at all.
You're not convinced? All right.
Haas is going to be a god at Legacy of the Void, by the way. I'm just saying it like right now. If Protoss stays anything like it is.
Yeah. He's so creative. All right, so let's get into the topics. WCS round of 32 happened last week. It was 4 days of groups. It was quite wonderful. So we'll just look at the results, a few surprising results. But the biggest thing to take from what happened last week is that for once, I think since the year started, the Koreans stood strong. No one lost. There was no surprising loss where a Korean fell.
I don't think that's that surprising though.
Really?
Not at all.
Do you want to
Considering what Koreans were playing, like Polt, Shuin, Hydra, Shuin, Jaedong, he had the weakest of the group of the three Koreans, so pretty much Shuin. Like if anything, I think Violet and Stardust are the ones that are like the weaker players. So I don't think it was that surprising at all, to be honest.
All right. Did Violets qualify?
Yeah, Violet did qualify, but there's a question now of whether he can actually go or not.
I see. Yeah, that sucks for him. But yeah, talking about Group A, Petrius came second, beating Arstam and Major. What did you think of that, Chris?
It's pretty surprising, obviously. I mean, who else was in the group? I can't even remember.
There was Polt.
No. Who else was in
Polt,
the group?
Petrius, Arstam, and Major.
Yeah, I was expecting Hearthstone to make it out. I feel like most people were.
Yeah.
Atreus is in like decent-ish shape, but I can take games off him, which is a sad thing, to be honest. So I don't think people were expecting for him to make it out.
There's kind of this awesome story of Atreus, though, and if you guys are a fan of Atreus, you already know it. And for those who don't, this is a guy who was expected to get into WCS through the qualifiers, no problem. Didn't make it season 1. Didn't make it season 2. Finally makes it in season 3, right? Like, or no, I think he did make it in season 2. Pardon me. But he failed so many qualifiers before he got an actual chance to play. So I don't really mind so much that he won because I feel like this guy has been trying so damn hard, like more so than everyone else, just to prove that he's there with everyone else.
Yeah.
And it sucked watching him fail through so many qualifiers, but I'm glad to see he's finally getting some results.
Yeah, it took a while, and the weirdest thing is finally having the results, but he's going back to school. Maybe it'll be better for him mentally, not being full time. Mo, did you catch any of Major's game?
Yeah, I saw Major against Harstam.
So what's going on here? Like, why is Major doing so poorly, do you think?
I think Harstam just came into that series really well prepared. Like, even though the maps they were playing on were pretty bad for two-base Colossus, at least one of the maps, Cactus Valley, like he made Colossus all in against 3 command center, and that's really strong. It's very hard to defend.
I see.
I honestly think Major was playing really bad. Like, just from a observer standpoint, watching him, like, just small micro mistakes, like the stalkers running into his base, the first one and then the second one as well. It just seemed like, like when you go set up at an event sometimes and like nothing feels right, like it all feels kind of weird. That's what it seemed like Major was having, because he definitely did not play up to his ability.
I have a theory. Major showed up and didn't know what to do next.
You think so? Like, after the first game went so wrong, he was like, I'm clueless?
No, I just mean Major actually showed up and then he didn't know what the fuck to do because he's never done that before.
I see, man. I was way too serious on that one.
Wait, this is not my computer. What is this?
Oh, Major. Group B, we had Hydra coming out on top, and then Healthy trying to set the table for Haz. Sadly, Haz did not follow his footsteps. Chris, Healthy's performance, was it surprising? Was it expected?
Who? Healthy? Who
Healthy.
the fuck's Healthy? Oh, Healthy.
Healthy sounds like a Korean player, like KT Healthy.
What did I say wrong?
Graham's
man.
high.
I am not high. Whatever. Sorry for enjoying your company, guys. That's my bad.
No, I thought it was funny. What was your question again, desRow?
Was it surprising of Elfie?
Yeah, are you fucking kidding me? It was very surprising. Elfie, especially PvT and PvP, like PvP, it's like, okay, it's Elfie, yeah, maybe sure he's gonna do something crazy. He's got good micro, to be honest, but PvT is very surprising. I felt like Colors underestimated he like didn't do what he needed to do. I feel like if you macro against Elfie and you don't do anything too risky, you should win games. But it felt like Kelzer just kept like all the medevacs lost. He lost like 9 medevacs in the first game.
Jesus.
Yeah, like 9 medevacs, and then it was like still kind of close because Terran, but like Elfie eventually won the game. But losing 9 medevacs trying to drop a Protoss, that's pretty sad. Especially against Elfie, who's not like super high APM or anything. No offense, of course.
Yeah. What about you, Mo? Did you catch any of Killiser's game?
No, unfortunately, I didn't. I was cheering for Elfie and he got through, so I'm happy about that.
And he,
Elfie is the kind of guy that you always look down upon, because he's always, like, his APM is shit. He's like, when you look at his games were always like looking sloppy and so on, but he kind of has that effect on people. He plays in a very, very unique way. And I think he's a great tournament player, so it doesn't surprise me too much that he would come out of that group.
I remember, like, on Belshire Vestige, Elfie had, like, really close games with Teja. And Teja got so mad that the games were so close that he started manner muling quite a lot. So, Elfie's a god. He's just doesn't come out too often.
The saying, right? Elfie is a god.
Like... Yeah, he's a god. All right, so Group C. Jaedong, Sen, Showtime, and Eero Marine, the 2 Germans, going down in flames. Sen, is it the comeback of Sen, Chris? You think with that performance we'll see more of him, or is it the last array?
I think that's how it works in WCS, is that if you make it out, you actually get to go to the next thing. Pretty sure.
No,
so
but
you will see more of him if you watch WCS Poland.
No, but I mean like a comeback as in like this is the beginning of something, or this is just like a lucky break.
I think it's just a lucky break. I mean, it's not even a lucky break. He's not a horrible player. You know, he played pretty good. He made it out. I would expect him to make like round of 8 at the most at Poland. Let's say that.
I see. Graham, as someone who watches a lot of Showtime, do you feel like
I was
Yeah.
actually really shocked Showtime didn't at least come second in that group, if I'm gonna be honest. I've been a big Showtime fan for a while, and like just that group felt like it was made for them. Maybe not in terms of like player skill, but like race distribution. Like that was a good group for Showtime in my opinion. I was a little bit sad he didn't make it out.
Yeah. He recently lost his team, so maybe that affected some of his issues. Like I know there was one LAN he wasn't sure if he was gonna go because he didn't have he didn't want to like pay it out of pocket and things like that. So maybe next year it will be Showtime's time to shine, but not today or not that day. Group D, Marine Lord coming out first, HuK, and then you had Az and Masa, 3 Terrans, 1 Protoss, 1 crazy Protoss. Mo, did you catch that group?
No.
You have no passion. All right, HuK, what about you?
Yeah,
Yeah, did you see those games, man?
I missed it, I think. What happened again?
You were
Marine
casting.
won.
Really? That's cool. I feel like he was the best player in that group. I mean, I didn't see the games, but yeah.
Was there a lot of talk about what Igus did?
Well, he did it, and it was very awkward because, for the most part, when you're doing casting slash like that kind of production and stuff, you don't want to address controversial issues like that. It's like if someone, like, let's say we're casting, and then someone says like, "Oh, what the fuck," right? Like you're not supposed to curse. The worst thing you could do is point to it and be like, "Wow, I can't believe you said that, man." Like you're supposed to just kind of like glaze over and be like, "Yeah, that was a really interesting battle, blah blah blah, blah," you know? So he did the middle finger and we're supposed to just glaze over it, but I couldn't stop laughing. So I was like, "Wow, he just doesn't like the camera." Like I was just I don't
It
know.
was the most appropriate middle finger in esports, though, if we're gonna be honest. Like, if he had done that before, like,
I don't know if he's gonna
first
actually
reel,
get
that's
any. I don't know. I don't think. I don't. It'll be interesting to see if he actually gets fined or anything for it. To be honest.
I've heard that's, or at least he tweeted something to that effect. Someone asked, "Is he gonna get in trouble for it?" And really, everyone told him like, "No, don't ever do it again." But as far as I'm aware, he said he wasn't getting in trouble. I mean, like, man, everyone loved that moment too. It'd be so hard to punish that. I mean, it does suck.
It wasn't like he did it with a good heart. You could see he was laughing it off afterwards. So.
Yeah,
It's not like he was super mad or anything.
Yeah.
I just want to say though something really cool. Maynard brought this up on Twitter and it didn't like I didn't register it right away. But like I've been a big advocate of saying like it's really dumb that WCS gives slots to like Copa America and like these sort of easier qualifiers to get through for some players. Like obviously you're going to choose to play against a bunch of other less good players in the entire NA qualifier where they might even be Koreans. So I've been really against that for a long time, but it's really cool because Maynard pointed out that it was the 2 Aussie players who made it through their qualifier system to the C region that actually made it through to Premier League, Petraeus and Igus. So that was actually quite impressive to see.
Yeah, but I guess it took a while to get to that quality of play though, because Petraeus only joined now, and before that it was Pig and Henex ZT or something. Isn't that like a? Yeah, okay, yeah. But yeah, but I agree with you. Now it's paying off. Hopefully Petraeus can keep up that level of play so that people don't disregard the Australian scene once again next year. We'll see how it goes. People are always quick to point the finger. But yeah, that concludes. Wow, this guy. All right, so that concludes WCS round of 32 results. There was a Legacy of the Void patch announcement last week. Mo made a very long blog about it. That's somewhere on Team Liquid.
Macro one, or?
Yeah, this is a macro plus pylon touching Nexus equals 2-second warping. But there's also a little bit of discussion about the length of the beta and their goal with that. So I thought that was pretty interesting. That's why we're going to talk about it. So let me click on the link. Jesus. All right, here. So it was posted August 14. Potential balanced test map for Heart of the Swarm because Zerg is struggling versus Mech. So that's great that they're already talking about that. And then they're talking about the schedule, saying that it's been 4 months now that the Legacy of the Void beta has been going on. Heart of the Swarm beta, they say it's been 4 months. Was it 4 months, Mo? It was like September, right? That the Heart of the Storm beta came out in 2012.
Heart of Storm was 4 months. I think it was longer than that. No?
Yeah, it feels like it was longer. It felt like it was like September to like February. But anyway, they said the entire length was 4 months, and that's what's been happening so far. And they said that there's one last month for like major changes. So, Chris, major changes, 1 month left. Like, what would be your craziest idea you'd want to try besides removing Terran from the game?
I would love to see the disruptor removed and the Reaver added. I guess that would be like ideal. If I could like literally pick anything, then that's what I would pick.
I mean, they did it with the lurker, I guess. So it's never too late. David, please.
Pretty sure it's too late, man.
What about you, Morrow? Well, I mean, they didn't do the collector's edition disruptor, so there's still a hope. Fucking adepts. But go on, Morrow. What? I didn't read your blog. It was very long, but I'm sure you kind of said one of the
You
crazy.
didn't read it?
My man.
It's
Wow.
a basic, man. Holy shit.
All right.
Not
Well,
doing your research. You're turning to Chan Man already, desRow. Come on.
oh, guys, I was shopping today, even though Chris is gonna hate me now. But yeah, what crazy change would you like?
I mean, they're already doing some of the stuff, which is, you know, with the warp gate, working on that. I think that's really huge, and you know, the new economy change. I am loving that too. And then yeah, I kinda agree with HuK that the Protoss needs some work. The disruptor, even though I like it, the thing is that Protoss, it would be nice to have like some consistent splash damage. And I would rather, like, instead, like, I think the Colossus is just dumb. I wouldn't mind them just removing that from the game and just be done with it. But the Reaver would be really interesting. But I still think the Disruptor has potential to be nice for the game. So I wouldn't really change too much about 101, you know, unless you want to go into just changing the game to Breadwork completely, because that's what I would really want. But yeah, I think Legacy is in a really good direction. I think they're doing a good job.
All right.
So actually, there's
go.
something about warp-ins I'd love to get your thoughts on, Morrow. And this isn't about balance or anything, but I'm a little worried. Like, you've got all these people, ideally, that'll check out the game for the first time with Legacy. They're pushing things like Allied Commanders and Archon mode to make it more casual friendly. What I kind of hate is what they've done is they've made this really cool Legacy of the Void. It's all about the Protoss. There's going to be, like, I'm sure, cinematics of, like, units warping out on the front lines ready to fight, right? Because that's the Protoss thing to do. But you can't do that. If you do that, you lose those units. Like, the double damage effects, do you think that's stupid? Because as much as I love playing against players who warp in front of me so I can target fire them down, I think the warping mechanic right now is really stupid. Well, I'm just curious what your thoughts are.
I think you're missing a point. Like you're warping in and it takes 2 seconds instead of 5 seconds. So even though you're taking double damage, like the
Right, but
no
that's only
time
in
between
very
attacks.
select scenarios. That's not like the front lines. That's not like the pylon outside the Zerg's third, like waiting to attack.
No, like that you don't warp in. We don't want that. That's why we're changing warp tick right now. I don't really see what you're getting at.
I feel like they're taking this in a direction that is so opposite of everything they glorify it to be. Like you're gonna see shots of like fucking like the preview, the trailer or whatever. You see things warping like directly on the front line, ready to fight. But you can't do that in multiplayer. It's like you're it's almost like false advertising in a way, you know?
Well, I kind of agree with you. The double damage is a little bit weird if it's gonna take 16 seconds to warp in something from a pylon. So that's something that maybe they could think about or address. Maybe they could do like, if it's 16 seconds, it doesn't take double damage, and if it's 2 seconds, then it takes double damage. That could be something.
Yeah, something. I feel like the way they've got like they've really played with warp in a lot so far in the beta. For those who don't know, it used to take twice as long as it does currently to warp in. They've kept the double damage aspect the whole way through. But like overall, warping in has been really just fucked with in general. And we can see in this patch, they're still trying to go through changes for it. I'm just curious what would be like an actually good change, because it feels like every time they touch warp in, it gets more and more stupid.
Yeah. HuK, any input on that?
I don't mind the double damage, to be honest. I feel like it will punish a player that is being too careless, but the other warp-in stuff they want to change seems more detrimental. Like if you make warp-ins plus the double damage, that's too much, I feel, because basically like any early aggression for Protoss is based off that, especially PvZ. And if Protoss can't, it's not about like removing the like 4-gate or 3-gate pressure from Protoss build, it's the fact that like what is Zerg gonna be really scared of, to be honest, at this point. You know, it's removing a threat, I feel, early game, which makes it more of a metagame change. That's the worst part of it.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of time adjusting. I feel like Go ahead, Morrow.
Sorry to interrupt you. I think anytime you're a Protoss and you want to attack, you're gonna need a warp prism. It's too dangerous to commit to a warping where you need to survive for 15 seconds. You can't cancel those warpings.
Exactly.
So it's really dangerous, regardless if you have double damage or not, I think.
Yeah, but then at the same time, it's like think about the 3-gate or any 4-gate build. You're not going to have a warp prism, right? And if you can never do those builds anymore in PvZ, Zerg's just going to be droning for days. Because the only other aggressive build that Protoss have right now is basically like an Oracle, right? But that's not like a committed attack. That's like, okay, I might get a few drones. So if you remove the 4-gate, you remove the 3-gate builds, like all those pressure builds, Zergs can just like drone until like Immortal Timing or Stargate. It just removes like, you know, a huge thing. Like Protosses have been 7-gating, 4-gating since the beginning of time, and if you do these changes, those builds are basically going to be completely nullified.
Are you saying your legacy is about to be destroyed?
I'm just saying it's changing the meta completely. Like, what is Zerg going to be scared of?
Yeah, obviously it's all gonna be different, but I'm just saying, like, if you take double damage or not, I think like doing a 4-gate is not gonna work. If it takes 15 seconds to warp in, I think it's too dangerous. I think you need a warp prism. But if you're like warping at home, the thing I like about the double damage is that you don't, like, if time drops bio, you don't just fucking spam Celos around the bio, like being completely careless. So you could, you know, warp in on the other side of the base and so on. So it's like if you get caught off guard, you actually get a little bit more punished. Especially now if it's 2 seconds. If it's 2 seconds, you don't take extra damage. Just defending with careless warpins right next to bio or whatever, it just feels so easy mode for Protoss to defend. So I like the fact that it takes extra damage to warping units.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens with the changes in the beta. There's just so much possibility. But then again, Chris, like one thing too is like the macro mechanics. Like there's gonna be less larva for Zerg in general. So maybe, just maybe, it'll be okay. Because even though there won't be a threat, they won't be able to drone as hard as they used to. But we'll see in time when it changes. Next up, it's about time. This weekend is happening. The big tournament of the year for the NA scene. Literally, there's not much else that quite compares to how awesome It's About Time is going to be. Your wiki page was a little bit lackluster. The open bracket notable participant wasn't there, so I had to type it up myself like a peasant. But
or you just look at the Team Liquid thread. Or Twitter, or Reddit.
All right.
But to be fair, a lot of people do just default to Liquipedia.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I gotta be honest with you guys. I have no fucking clue how Liquipedia works, and I hate that I have to use it. Like,
yeah, it was a big struggle for me with Remax, but once you get into it, it's a little bit nice. But yeah, the groups, the players have been put in groups. BioIce with Kelliser. Group 1 is probably the group you want to end up in, HuK. Oh, HuK, I forgot to put you in the notable list. For
I was there. I saw you put yourself. I kind of gawked at that.
Wow.
I was like, really?
Wow,
really,
this
man?
guy. Why are you gonna be like that, man?
I mean, okay, let's be honest, chat. Right now, if I run through this list, tell me who you think the worst out of this list is. No Regret, Intense, desRow, Heart, Rough, Hydra, True, HuK. Like I feel like if we went to a poll here,
it's a close bottom 3 between me,
it's
No Regret, and Rough.
Between you and Rough.
Wow!
Pretty much it, man.
This guy. Oh.
And yeah, Group A, what the fuck? That's a complete joke. I honestly like the lineup for players is like pretty scary. Besides BioIce, BioIce is like, what the fuck? Why is he there? Kind of way. And no offense to BioIce, like
Well,
sure he's a decent player and everything, but honestly, we look at this player list and you think like a lot of these players are really good, and then you look at BioIce and you're just like, man, really,
hang on, I wanna
really, really, Rifkin.
I want to actually explain that. This is because I like the story of BioIce actually. So it wasn't that we invited BioIce, and but just so people are aware, BioIce is literally the only invite to this tournament. Everything else is 100% you got to qualify for, open bracket, groups, etc. The reason BioIce got an invite was because back then we were trying to help promote Fruit Dragon's Breaking Out series, and this is long before BioIce had even like got to the semifinals, much less like won them all. And we told Fruit Dragon like, look, dude, you contribute a significant amount to the Kickstarter. You always support us on the channel. You're like our best friend. Why don't we give you one of the slots in our tournament to help your players feel a little bit more like they're winning something for breaking out? Plus, it's kind of like another qualifier where they won $1,000 for breaking out, same way that Jaedong or anyone else would win $1,000 from a Korean qualifier and such. So it just kind of worked as like its own qualifier that we didn't have to run. Plus, it gave some notoriety to breaking out. And at the time, it got a big bump, but I mean, obviously, it didn't exactly make it like the craziest show of the time. So BioIce is there because he won breaking out. He got through round of 8, got through semifinals, etc. He was the one who won, and that's why he got the invite.
I mean, I understand why he got the invite. I'm just saying he's gonna get fucking stomped.
Oh, no problem. I don't know. I was sorry. I wanted to explain to everybody else who didn't know the story of why he's there. Because you make it sound like it was just like, what the fuck, random invite.
No. I just know he's just gonna get crushed. Like, if we look at the open bracket list, and let's say best case for BioIce, like, there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players here. All right, 6 make it out. So let's remove Ruff, remove desRow, and then we're looking at best case for him. Like maybe like No Regret, Me, or Intense. Those 3. You forgot to put Massa here too, by the way, in the open bracket.
Oh, rip. The dream.
Even Massa is scary. So like you're at 9 players. Like the bottom 4 would be Me, No Regret, Intense, or Massa. And if you take any of those 4 players and you put them up against BioIce, pretty sure we'll crush BioIce. No offense to BioIce.
It's gonna be really embarrassing if you don't, though. I'm just saying. After all
Yeah,
this.
because I'm gonna talk all this shit. And then
No,
we'll
you
back
got
it
the
up.
excuse. You're just gonna be like, I've been casting. I'm a caster now.
No. If I lose, then like maybe like fucking throw up some Reddit threads. I'm about it. But
So how come there's 3 Europeans qualified?
Xanster got the last spot qualifier. There was no prize money attached to that at all. It was just an invite to the tournament.
Oh, nice.
And that's when Xanster won. That was open to everybody. That was NA, Korea, Europe, everybody.
Property is rolling in the money, man. Sending Zenster across the sea.
I actually really like Xanster, to be honest, and I think his ZVZ is actually really good. I think that's going to be... I normally hate ZVZ, and there's probably going to be some in this tournament. There's a significant amount of Zerg playing, but I think what I like is that we've got Hyun, you got Jaedong, and you got the foreigner for Xanster. I love all 3 of their ZVZs quite a bit, actually. So I don't think I'm going to be too disappointed with that group, no matter who else ends up in there.
I got a question. How do you determine? So it's a double elimination bracket, right? That's
Yeah,
open
top
bracket?
2 from winners and top or bottom 4.
And then how do you determine who goes to what group?
That's been preset, but not revealed.
Okay. So like, okay. Because you know there's going to be someone that's going to be like, man, I wish I would got into Group A situation.
So we definitely took into consideration.
Is it
the folks that are
decided?
likely.
It's already decided now?
Yeah, right now it's like invisible lines connect, like top bracket winner will go here and so forth.
Okay.
And we definitely took into consideration as well the folks that are likely to get through the top bracket, so that we wouldn't totally screw everybody over.
And
but if it ends up being an upset where Ruff beats True or something, I mean, we can't stop that.
And you're obviously going to seed it too, right?
Yeah, brackets, we've asked them to seed it by WCS points and then randomize afterwards.
But why is BioIce and Kellasur in a group of 2 open and not like...
Well, you don't know if those are the winners of the losers bracket, though.
No,
Well,
If
I
I had to-
we're going to be short no matter what.
If I had to guess, Morrow, the way that he's going to do it, because Group A is probably a little bit weaker, is that he'll take the winners from the open bracket and throw them in A, in my opinion, because maybe those are going to be the better quote-unquote players.
There's going to be at least one, that's for sure.
Yeah, and then maybe like the other 4 will be split. Yeah, so it'll be like the 2 winners, 1 in A, 1 in B, and then the other 4 split across the board, 1 in each group. That's what I would do. But
I don't understand why Sunstreets with Jadon as well makes me salty.
I'm going to tell you guys one
Why?
big thing that we've done for this, though, just so everyone's aware, not just you guys here on the call. Because of the way we did this tournament, because we made it all qualifiers with no invites, we really had to sit down and have this conversation between myself and Zombie where we said, like, do we really want to cater or care about the people who have names in this tournament? Like, do we want, like, we don't, how to phrase this, like, I don't care if Jadong or HuK makes it to the finals. It doesn't matter between those two, even in my eyes. Obviously, one's going to bring more hype than the other, but the thing is, for this tournament, we just want it to be as fair as possible for the players, and we want it to be as fun as possible for everybody else involved. Everything else is just kind of secondary to that. So when it comes to, again, like I know in the past, there's a lot of things where like you invite a player because you know it's a crowd favorite and you give them a nice bracket and the top seed. Like we're not doing that. The only seeding and stuff is like, again, WCS points, they're random. After that, it's every man for himself. Good luck, have fun. In all aspects of the tournament.
That's good. Question, what's the prize pool as of right now?
Oh, geez, the Canadian prize pool or the American prize pool? Because one sounds better than the other.
Canadian, I guess?
No, so for US, because it was originally announced to be $17,000 US, and I've said this before so many times on stream, and I'll reiterate it here. We haven't spent any money we didn't have, and we have not misappropriated any funds. But for those who haven't been keeping up with economics, the Canadian dollar took a huge nosedive since our Kickstarter. So what was originally a $17,000 prize pool fell to $13,000. But we managed to sell a lot of portraits on Indiegogo. We made some nice donations on stream the other day. We're closer to, I have to wait for the money to come in to finalize it, but I think we're closer to around 1,500, or 15,500 or 1,600 or 16,000.
That's pretty
We're somewhere
amazing.
in that region.
Yeah. Are you
It's
gonna?
been a lot of extra work, but it sucks because like I really didn't want everyone to be disappointed with like a $12,000 prize pool or something because Canadian dollar just got fucked, you know?
Man,
that's not fair
I
to
don't-
them. It's not fair to us.
I don't think anyone would have been disappointed. So you're gonna label the tournament in USD, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
just because I think that's what most people prefer to be paid in anyways.
Yeah.
At least an experience of paying out, you know, showmatch money and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Like it seemed like you wanted to say something.
No, it's just I am just annoyed because this is like our first thing, and you know, Murphy's Law, right? If it can go wrong, it will go wrong, and it's like we didn't even think about the prize pool. We've been juggling about a million things with Blizzard legal, with the venue, with getting players their pickup rides, and all these things, and then it's like, oh, so this thing we didn't think about that we thought was all good wasn't. You know, that prize pool shrinking really sucked. It really did. And I was hoping all the extra fundraising we were doing was going to push it over 20K, not catch it up to where it was before. So it was a little disappointing.
Aw. Well, I'm sure everyone's gonna appreciate all the effort you're putting into this. Now, obviously,
Hope so.
obviously, I'm the one asking about it. But do you have any like, how to say this? Like, do you have any previews about the ice cream truck? Like, have you seen it?
No, I have sadly not seen it, but on the website, I know that they are coming with 300 servings of soft serve and cones. They're going to be there from noon till 6 or until they run out of supplies, one or the other.
Is it vanilla only or?
what
No.
about after party? Are we just going to a bar or something?
Right, I'll talk about that in a sec. But for the ice cream and the pizza stuff, basically we're going to order it till it's gone. Like we've got $1,000 put between the two, so the ice cream truck's $600, just flat cash. So the guy will be there until he runs out of ice cream. The nice thing is, because we seem to get a lot of trolls really concerned about lower numbers for the tournament, if there's less people, you get 2 ice creams instead of 1. There's no downside.
That's amazing.
We're going to be throwing up a straw poll in the next couple days too, just trying to get an assessment of what type of pizza people like as well, so we don't just order like 50 pepperonis all the time. Maybe there's some vegetarians that are going to be coming, stuff like that. So again, the priority is to be sure everyone has a good time, both with the food, with the playing, all that type of stuff. HuK brings up the topic of an after party. Honest to God, we didn't think about an after party because we didn't have money to like go rent out a place. Again, we really got screwed by this prize pool money and all these other things that have fallen through. So we're just, I think at this point, electing to try and get everyone together in the Yorkdale Holiday Inn bar. It's a really nice bar. I've actually been to the place already. They've got a fucking like waterfall at the bar, and the bar is next to like the pool and the tennis court. It's like really nice. So
How late does the bar close?
I don't know. I gotta call in and ask. I think it's 11. I don't know. It's not the best after party you're ever gonna see in your life, but we don't have Twitch sponsoring us. We don't have Blizzard giving us money. Like, we're just gonna do what we can.
That's
So
cool.
are you affiliated with this bar, or could we just find another one?
We could definitely find another one. All I know is that I'm stocking up. I'm not gonna say who, but one of our subs is helping me stock up on a ton of booze. So one way or another, there'll be drinks. But that's all I can guarantee. I've got nothing of a place.
All right, the keg has been secured. Hey, you didn't answer. Is it only vanilla ice cream, or there's gonna be chocolate too?
As far as I'm aware, there's 3 flavors.
All
I
right.
mean, I have no idea if it's like 200 vanilla, 100 chocolate, and none of like I have no idea what that.
All right.
You can't have any desRow. You're not diet.
What, my man?
Exclamation mark keto!
Oh dear Lord. All right. So guys, that concludes part 1 of the show. We'll be back in 2 minutes with part 2. I know I haven't done a break in like 6 months, but it's okay. We'll see you guys soon.